Good morning from Jerusalem. I'm at one of the gates of Jerusalem. This is the Lion's Gate, but they have lots of names to it. Josaphat name, Gethsemane name, a gate, Mistress Mary Gate, name it. Everyone used different names, but the reason we are using the Lion's Gate is because of the lions at the right and the left part of the gate. It's one of the 8 gates of Jerusalem that were built at the 16th century by Solomon the Magnificent around it. One legend, actually, one story tells us that he dreamt about lions every night, and then realized that if he won't build or protect Jerusalem, the lions will hit him alive. Then here it is, the lions are there, but the lions are not really from his time. It actually takes us to the 12th century, to Baibars. This is the symbol of one of the Muslim leaders that conquered the Crusaders, the first kingdom of the Crusaders. Then, in that matter, one of the 8 gates, it's the Eastern Gate, the only Eastern Gate of Jerusalem. The other one, the Golden Gate, is closed. And if I look at the other side, you can see a little bit of Mount of Olives. Now that tour is going to be long, and it's dedicated by Bob Quilty to Laרי and Kaya Junk-Free. They are from Finland, and they are retired pastors and religious writers. Then this is so important. And to Joe and Sandra Baarkey-Probst. Joe is a pastor, and Sandra is an organist, and Joe writes music, and Sandra plays with Joe. This is a beautiful story, and those are the 2 Jerusalem crosses that we dedicated to them by Bob. And of course I will send it to Canada and Finland as well. Then we have a lot to talk. It's going to be a very informative tour. Then let's start it. Let's take the crosses. In a way, we will go through, we enter into the Muslim quarter. As you can see, there are a lot of Muslims that are living now the Temple Mount, Al-Aqsa Mosque, Haram al-Sharif. And you will see one of the entrances. For non-Muslims, you can enter twice a day to the Temple Mount, to Haram al-Sharif. But oops, the lady fell. Let's see if she's okay. Yeah, a man cannot touch her, then it means that she's okay. And it will take us to the Via Dolorosa. Sadly, I cannot help her, but she's okay. All right, she's standing now. You can see the lions now. And there's a connection to the Via Dolorosa that soon we will start walking. There, Jesus fell 3 times. Look at the doors. Then here it is. This is one of the few gates that the entrance is straight ahead. Usually, as for let the car go. Yeah. Usually you have to turn left, and this is one of the entrances to the Temple Mount, to Haram al-Sharif, and we as non-Muslims cannot enter through there. Tourists are starting to arrive. Then if you want to reach Israel, now it's easier. On the way to the Via Dolorosa, in the Muslim quarter, look at the beautiful blue sky, and you can actually see a few places. And look at that, Birthplace of Virgin Mary. And this is the Greek Orthodox option. And sadly it's still closed because of the virus. But if everything will be okay and tourists will arrive, I will be able to enter today. But if you will subscribe my channel and enter to the channel, then you will be able to visit already the tomb of, the birthplace of Mary, because I took some videos of it before the COVID. Another place that it's supposed to be closed now, and I do have videos of it, is Bet Hasda. In Bet Hasda you can find sheep pools, the pools that Jesus visit and cure a man that couldn't enter to the pool for 38 years. It's a beautiful place, and again, you do have some videos of it in my channel. Beside the pools, you can visit a beautiful Crusader Church that that shows you. First of all, it's an amazing church, but that is the birthplace of Mary according to the Catholic. For the one who doesn't understand what I'm saying, and then let me tell you that the Bible never mentioned where Mary was buried and actually where she was born. You can see the monastery of Bet Hasda. But there is a prefiguration evangelion. It's called St. James, and it actually tells us what's happened to Mary before and after, and part of it is here. She was daughter of a couple that couldn't bring children into that world. They were old when an angel told them that she's gonna have a child, and that was Ans and Hannah in Hebrew, and Joachim was the father. Then inside the church itself is the house of Hannah and Joachim and the birthplace of Mary. I do have some videos about it as well. About the Via Dolorosa. If you're Catholic, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, then let me tell you that according to the Franciscans, Jesus walked from the judgment place that we will visit soon to the Crucifixion Place that we will visit soon in that tour, and on the way he actually passed so many places with so many stories. And according to the Franciscans, we do have 14 stories that tells us what's happened to Jesus on the way to the crucifixion, including the crucifixion. Then some of it are in the Bible, some of it not, but we will actually accept it now as the part of the tour, and that's what we're going to do soon. On the way we will see so many other things. Then the judgment place is taking his cross with him, and he fell for the first time. We saw a woman that just fell, but we actually can think about what's happened to Jesus before. Remember, they were beating him, they were laughing at him. He knew that he's going to be crucified, and easy it wasn't. And his mother met him. We will actually talk about it when we reach the place. Saint Simon helped him to carry the cross. That is part of the Bible. Veronica cleaned his face, his sweaty face. 7th station, he fell for the second time. 8th station, the women of 7, 8. That's the women of Jerusalem. All right, now I can see the women are crying. 9th station, he fell for the 3rd time. And then at 10 station, they took his clothes off. That we actually know. The women of Jerusalem we know as well. And they nailed him into the cross. They crucified him. Part of the Bible. The Pietà is one of the 13 station, and the tomb is the 14th station. I like to add the resurrection of Jesus as well, and we will actually visit it too. Then, now you got the message. It's already 10 minutes. It's going to be a long tour for you, my dears. We are on the way to the first station of the cross, and that is the time to ask you to subscribe my channel. And if you like that video or any other video of mine, please send it to your friends. Don't keep it for yourself. Spread the word. Bab el-Hutta, it's another option to enter for Muslims into the Temple Mount, Haram Sharif, name it. Look at the ancient floor here from 3rd and 4th century. Oh, there's a smell of a good pizza. Then we are right here to see the city. We just entered from the Lion's Gate. We're going to go into that area to visit the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Here's the pizza. King Faisal Street and King Faisal Gate is another gate for Muslims only. Then the gate itself is part of the northern wall that King Herod built to create the Temple Mount. Then we are still at the Lion's Gate Street. But if you will turn right, we will reach Herod's Gate. Remember, we do have 8 gates of Jerusalem. It's a lovely tour. Larry, Kaya, Joe, Sandra, we are reaching the first and the second station of the cross. But to the left, you can see the Antonia. The Antonia was a fortress that King Herod built, and the idea was to control the Jews there. 3 times you hear every Jew must be in the city. Too many people in one side. It's a little bit dangerous in a way. Then from here, he could actually see them. He had 2 temples here in a way. One, the smallest one is here, the Antonia, which was a fortress at Jaffa Gate. He had another fortress. Today it's called David's Tower, but it's actually built originally by him, by King Herod, because it's the highest place of the city. Then he controlled the city and here. According to the Catholic, and now the Greek Orthodox accept as well, The judgment place, the praetorium, was right in front of you. But, can you hear the noise of the children? Now it's an elementary school. Then the Christians at the Muslim quarter couldn't build the first and the second station there. Then they built it right to your right side. And we will enter it soon. He's here for the Pilate, judging Jesus. But remember, it's there. And on Friday, there's a lovely Franciscan procession that starts from the school. Now it's not Friday, and you could hear the children. Let's go to the first station. You know what, let's go from there. I love that church. Oh, sorry. Here it is. You can see the angel, but to the right of the angel and to the left, you can see so many symbols for the agony of Jesus, the nails, the ladder, even the chicken, the rooster, washing his hands, tone of horn. Not easy. Then this is the Church of the Flagellation, and it's a beautiful place, and we will enter it soon. But I'm not sure that if it's empty, then if I can talk there. Then originally it's built by the Crusaders at the 12th century, but it was destroyed for many centuries. In 1838 it was purchased by the Franciscans and was opened again for worship due to a generous donation. And in 1929 Antonio Berrucci restored the church, and the one that built so many beautiful churches all over the Holy Land. I really love it. Maybe one day I will make a playlist of all the places that he built. And for us, if we'll go to John 19, 1-3, then we will know that Pilate took Jesus and had him flagged. The soldier twisted together a crown of thorn and put it on his head. They clothed him in a purple robe and went up to him again and again, saying, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they slapped him in the face. Then let's now enter. And if it's going to be busy, look at the stained windows. Oh, it's empty. Here you can see, let me just bless the crosses. And here you can see Pontius Pilate washing his hands. Marvelous. Jesus be in charge. And this is, for me, it's a difficult story about Barabbas. Why it's a difficult story? Mainly because I cannot understand Pontius Pilate. If that man was against the region and he murdered people, then why to release him? Another important thing that so many Christians don't know, because they don't know Aramaic and Hebrew, is that Barabbas, it's the son of the father, Ba, Abba, which is the name of Jesus. Look at the ceiling, look at the golden color inside and the blood tears outside. It's like the two natures of Jesus. What can I tell you? Bertolucci, you are a genius. Bertolucci, arquitecto. Let's go to the second station of the cross together with you. If you want to have your own cross, and I do have more than one option, go into the description of that video and look for the link of Buy Me a Coffee. If you don't see it, send me a message and I will send you the link without any problem. Condemnation, Chapel of the Condemnation. The chapel is only from 1904, but it was built on the ruins of the medieval chapel. We don't know for what they actually dedicated it. But if we go back to the Gospel of John, 19, 13 and 16, 17, we will actually hear about that. When Pilate heard these words, he brought Jesus out and seated him on a judge bench in the place called Stone Pavement, in Hebrew, Gabbatha. Then he handed him over to them to be crucified. So they took Jesus and carrying the cross himself. He went out to what called in Hebrew place of the skull. In Hebrew, Golgotha, Calvary. Let's see if, yeah, it's empty, I can talk. First, let's have blessed our crosses at the altar. And you can see beautifully that moment that Jesus went out with a red robe, means I'm the king. But you can actually see the blood idea with the tone of home, and you can see the cross that he is going to carry and here. You can see the first moments of it. And that was built on top of the ruins from the medieval time. But for me, there are two more important things here. The first one is John. They're trying to hide the scenery from the mother, from Mary. Now, why do we know that it's John? First of all, we know that he was there. Secondly, John is usually without a beard. He is the youngest one, the beloved one. And who is the other lady? Mary Magdalene, that I love so much. And you can actually notice that she is the only woman in Christianity that you can see her shoulder and the hair of her. Look behind her, look at Mary, you cannot see it. But for us, this is a pavement that until recently we thought that it's from the time of Jesus. Now we know that it's from the 2nd century, from Adrian time, but it actually tells us the same story of the 1st century. You can see here some Romans plays here and there, and when they was waiting for the end of the judgment, and it takes time, then they actually played, just like today people are playing, let's say, the cards or something like that. Then the best place to do that is here on the floor. Most of the Via Dolorosa station will be closed because of COVID, and usually they are closed. They're open usually from time to time, especially in Easter time when so many Christians are visiting the city. Let's continue the tour. Remember, the first and the second station supposed to be inside their school, which is the Antonia. But now, that's what we have. בסדר, מה שלומך? תשמע רגע. Dad, we just left the first and second station, and I like to read it because, it actually tells us a lot. מה שלומך? בסדר גמור. רגע. That's for Matthew 16:24. If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Jesus is looking for someone who will humble himself as he did. It is amazing, isn't it? Will you be this disciple? I think we are. Then, let's follow him. I will say hello to the salesman. I saw a tour guide that I didn't see for 2 years now. Great. I'm going to survive. It's so nice to see people that you didn't see. And now they started to smile because tourists have started to enter Israel. Another option for Muslims to enter to the temple mount, but look at that arch. First of all, it's very close to the Sister of Notre Dame, which is another amazing place to visit if you want to see the crossroads. If you want to see a pavement from 2nd century again. We thought for many years that it is from the time of Jesus, but that arch, for so many of us, it's called It's called Echa Omo, but for most of us is the window that Pontius Pilate was looking outside and washed his hands, and you see the people here that say, crucified him, crucified him, crucified him. Joe, Larry, we are on the way. And here it is, we're on the way to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, just beneath that. Echo Omo, whatever, I mean, there's so many ways to pronounce it. We're still in the Muslim Quarter. The children just left school, so the elementary school, we know it, the Antonia. And on the way to the third station, where Jesus fell for the first time, you can see so many places. Here, for example, you can enter to the Sister of Notre Dame to see another part of the arch. That now we know that it kind of a triumph arch that was built by or for Adrian. Caesar Adrian visited the city after the Jews rebelled him. This is for, if you are a Jew, that is the time of Bar Kokhba. And then he changed the name of Israel, no, first the city of Jerusalem to Aliyah Capitolina by his family name. And he changed the name of Israel to Palestine. Now we know the meaning of it. That house in the Muslim Quarter tells us that one of them went to Mecca for the Hajj, and now he's got a title, kind of a surtitle, and that is Hajj. If his name was Yusuf, then Hajj Yusuf from today. At the other side, you can see a Greek Orthodox place, and this is the prison of Jesus. This is the Antonia, according to the Greek Orthodox. Though it's closed, remember, go into my channel, my YouTube channel, and you will find so many videos of it. What's the name of that street now? Via Doloroze. That's the name of the street from the first and second station. We are looking at the Armenian Catholic place, Armenian, where the first Christians who came to Jerusalem as a Christian, as a nation of Christians, at 301, they've been converted altogether to Christianity. Constantine did it a few years later. Then they've been here before. That's why, before the Constantine, or before St. Helen, that's why you will see a lot of Armenians places in Jerusalem. They have their own quarter. Their own quarter. They have the Christian quarter and the Armenian quarter. The third station belonged to the Catholic Armenian Church, which is now to your left side. But before that, look at that building. This is the Austrian Hospice. Which is a beautiful place to visit. You can actually climb, and let me take you to the second station. You can climb up to the roof. It will cost you 5 shekels. And I think the second best view of Jerusalem. But for us, this is the third station. That's where Jesus fell for the first time. The other side of it is a wonderful restaurant called Basti. Local food, very good one, I must say. But I'm standing on the floor from the second temple time. It was 3 meters beneath it, but when they excavated, they took part of it, and here it is. You can actually walk on it. But we are... מה שלומך? Good to see you. No, yeah, but I was here at Basti 4 days ago with 2 nice people. See you. Oh, look at the kitty. Hello, kitty. The third station is right in front of you. That's where he fell for the first time. I do have lovely videos of the interior of the station. If you are Polish, then you must know that Polish soldiers in the Second World War renovated it. And here is the mother. The mother met Jesus. And for me, it's so important because I'm almost sure, although the Bible didn't mention it, that Mary was next to Jesus every moment that she could. And if you want to know how to know that it is the station of the Via Dolosa, you see the run plate with the number on it. This is the 4th one. And the images that a few months before the COVID was given for us by the Vatican. It tells you the story of it. We're still in the Muslim quarter, heading to the 5th station. The 5th station was mentioned in the Bible. And you can see it's more crowded now. It's already 37 minutes. Wow. Here it is. 5th station. If you will continue straight ahead, you will reach the western wall, the Wailing Wall. Another good option, Abu Shukri restaurant. If you will continue that way, you will reach Damascus Gate. But we are turning right. That is where Saint Simon helped Jesus to carry the cross. What actually Saint Simon did here? First of all, the Bible mentioned that it just came from the garden, then it came from outside the gate. Then we are very close to the walls of Jerusalem. And we know that the wall's supposed to be very close to here. Secondly, he went to the temple, just like Jesus. Jesus came to the temple. It's Passover time. This is one of the 3 festivals, holidays that every Jew must be in the city, and that's by order of God. Then he was walking here when the soldiers, Roman soldiers, told him, Jesus fell dizzy, come and help him. Then now we know why Simon, a Jew from Libya of today, what he did here in the city. I mean, think about it. It's not so easy to reach the Holy Land from Libya without Air Libya. According to what we believe, this is the stone that he was kneeling on, just like I'm trying to show you, but right here, and he couldn't breathe. Remember, he didn't drink, he didn't eat, he had to carry his cross. Not easy, not easy. Then in that case, John Simon helped him to carry the cross. Now we are on the way to the 6th station. They just renovated that street. That's the only good thing that I can say about the COVID. It's less slippery. People used to fall here a lot. And now it's easier for handicap people to walk here, for everyone actually. And you can see it's wet. They just clean it with water and still it's not slippery. It's still the Muslim Quarter, and here is one of the most well-known guys who sells antiques. What you can see there, the small boxes are ossuaries. When a few years after the Jew died, they used to take the bones out and put it in a small box, and then they could bury someone else instead of it. That is important for us because we know that Joseph of Arimathea gave Jesus his own tomb that no one used before. Now we can understand that no one used before. It's still the Muslim Quarter, and here you can see one of the mosques. We're reaching the 6th station of the cross. Although it's not in the Bible, it is a very important issue for me because Veronica is the only one who really volunteered to help Jesus. Saint Simon didn't volunteer. He was forced to help Jesus. But she did it. She knew that they might. מה שלומך? לא, לצערי רק אני. Then for me she's a very important woman because she did something. I mean, think about it. I mean, look at the 14 stations. No one really helped Jesus. There's a rumor that says that Veronica is the woman with a blood issue. It's an old rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. But why not to believe it? And this is a column from first century. Let me bless it for you. And again, although it's not part of the Bible, I think it's such an important station. It belongs to Catholic, of course, but this is the Malachite Christians. Malachite are Greek Orthodox that converted themselves into Catholic. Then their churches look like a Greek Orthodox church, but they are praying. They're adding the Pope into it. Such a beautiful place. They just renovated their place as well. Then I'm happy. Oh, love that place. And Joe and Sandra and Larry and Kaya. You've been blessed with us. And when you will be here next time, and you will see this beautiful coffee place, then stop here to drink Arabic coffee and to talk with that amazing guy.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. I think that it's got the best Arabic coffee ever.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Then it's called El Mufti. And it's between the 6th and the 7th station.
Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye. Yeah.
Hope to see you.
Yeah, from time to time people actually see me as a salesman, but I promote in places that I love. מה שלומך?
أحلى مدريك بكشة حبيبي.
Then, 7th station. You will see it soon. The 7th station is already outside the city. remember that Saint Simon was in the garden, then I think that he actually came from there and then he met Jesus and the Roman soldier at the 5th station of today. Then maybe that this is Ginat gate, Ginat garden in Hebrew. And you will see by yourself that when we reach that gate and we look to the right and to the left, that's going to be a very crowded place. Because it's the main street of the old city today, but remember it was outside the city. Let's say goodbye. I think it's the last sign of the Via Dolorusa. And you know what? Let me take a picture of it for you. Here it is. 7th station of the cross. That's where he fell for the second time. And as you can see, to the right, to the left, you can see a lot of people walking here. Look how beautiful it is. The 8th station is outside that street, and let's climb up to see it. That's where the women of Jerusalem cried, and in a way say that the future is not going to be good. Oh, she fell too. Remember that people are following here. Eighth station. The women of Jerusalem are crying now. Now we are going to the main street and we will turn right. מה שלומך? בסדר גמור.
הרבה זמן.
כן, אבל מתחיל להיות טוב.
כן?
מתחיל להיות טוב, כן, נתחיל לראות אנשים.
כן.
It will be good.
אוקיי.
תודה. ביי ביי. להתראות. The green coffee here. This is the first time that I actually telling the salesman and restaurant managers that the future looks good. I think we actually knows that we have to live together with the virus, with COVID. And for 2 years they suffered just like me. Did you already subscribe my channel? If you reach that point, it's already 50 minutes. Please write something. I need a comment. I want to. I don't like fish. Write something and tell me that you reached that point. And I'm happy for that. So we're gonna live the main street, and we're going to climb to the roof of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre to see the ninth station. And let's talk. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Look how good it looks like. I can eat everything now.
Very famous.
Hi, מה שלומך?
Good friend.
And you can always stop next to him and drink tamar hindi and lemonade. And he is always smiling. Now we have no other choice but to smile. And here we are leaving the main road, but I want you to understand that the church at the 4th century started from here. Today the church that we are going to visit is less than half. And we just left the Muslim quarter, which is there, and we entered the Christian quarter. Ah, what a lovely day. Tomorrow night it's supposed to be rainy, but only for one night. You can see the white dome there. This is the Jewish quarter, and this is the one that you see is the Jewish synagogue, Muslim quarter, and Christian quarter. Right here, you can see the two domes of the famous Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Now, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre belongs to everyone, except of some of the Protestant. Then, if you are Catholic, Greek Orthodox, Armenian, from the Church of Syria, name it, you do have part of their church. And this is different than your church. And it doesn't look like a church in a way. It's been destroyed a few times, but it was built for the first time by Saint Helen, the mother of Constantine. Another thing that I must tell you, that there is another option of the Crucifixion Place and the tomb outside the gates of Jerusalem, outside Damascus Gate. Then why there are two? I'm not going into politics, but some people actually believes that he was crucified outside the city, and this church is not outside the city, it's actually in the center of the city. But you must understand that the city of today is different from the city of Jesus' time. Remember, it's like a gap of 2,000 years. Another place to buy your souvenirs is next to the 9th station, mainly because he's modest, because he's a good person, and the prices are excellent. Then when you reach the 9th station, stop and buy, and it's got a nice place inside as well. Then a really good option. And the mattress of Yaakov.
Yes. Who are you talking to?
Yaakov, no, I'm talking to myself. No one is there. Yeah, I will upload it to YouTube, and I hope that a lot of people will watch it. And from time to time, a lot of people are watching my videos. Yaakov, I think you saw him in my previous videos. He is a pilgrim who came to Israel a few years ago, and he lives like Jesus' time. He's got no place to live. That is where he is staying. I saw him here when he woke up at the snowy day, which was so cold, and he feels okay. I mean, he came for that. He knows what he is doing. And another important thing that I did, I bought him a cake for Christmas, and he gave it to someone who really needs it. I mean, he said, I can live without it. This is amazing. This is amazing. And we might see him in the church. If you will see someone that looks like Jesus, then we might see him. The 9th station is where Jesus fell for the 3rd time. And that area belongs to the Egyptian. You can see that the Coptic Orthodox Patriarch of Jerusalem is here, including St. Anthony Coptic Monastery, and I promise one day to visit it when they will open it. And we are leaving the Egyptian part and entering to the Ethiopian part. Da-da-dam! Ethiopian, Egyptian, Coptic, Greek Orthodox. Everyone are here. Everyone are here. The Ethiopian believes that they are a creation of a meeting between Queen Sheba and King Solomon. And the first Ethiopian became the king. He came, the son of Sheba and King Solomon. He came to his father here, who gave him the Ark of the Covenant. Then if you ask me where it is, one of the options, and the only option for the Ethiopians, is at the city of Akhtum in Ethiopia. And this is a beautiful village of them, and the dome above St. Helen Chapel, the chapel of the Armenians. Now we will enter through the 2 Ethiopian churches, and then we will reach the facade of the church that most of you knows, Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the church that, according to so many Christians, Jesus was crucified there, died, buried, and resurrected. And that's why the Greek Orthodox call it the Church of the Resurrection. And Betty, I know that you mentioned that you love that name too. Me too. And let's go through those churches. I will be quiet. At that church, at the first chapel, you will see a painting of Queen Sheba visiting King Solomon. The churches looks like very similar to Greek Orthodox. There is a Holy of the Holy, a place, but they call it the Holy of the Holy because the Ark of the Covenant, in a way, is there, and only the high priest can go in. Interesting. Here it is. And that's the Holy of the Holy. You can see it close now.
You can make the stairs and you call your friends.
Yes, later.
Oh, it's so sunny. It's beautiful. We had from mid of January until, that's a few days ago, it was rainy. Not all day, not every day, but it was rainy. But don't worry, tomorrow it's going to rain too. There's a mosque of Omar in front of the holy site of the church, and a lot of them are local people. Here you can see a Muslim family that's visiting Jesus. Jesus is holy for the Muslims as well. The facade that you see here is from the 11th, 12th century, and it was built as a fortress by the Crusader. Remember, that church been destroyed so many times. You can see Greek Orthodox chapels. And on the other side, Greek Orthodox, Armenian in the middle. And the left, we just came out of it. This is Ethiopian one. Another station of the cross is outside the church, but it's closed. And this is the Frank's chapel. This is when they stripped him from his clothes and remember the lottery. Who will own that clothes? And we were going to climb up to the Calvary, to the Golgotha. That is the only entrance and exit from the church. There was another door here and another door upstairs, but it's been closed by the Salahaddin, by the Muslims, and until now we have only one entrance and exit. Let's climb up to the Golgotha. Yeah, most of the people here are Muslims. Then here, Jesus was nailed to the cross, another station of the Via Dolorosa. That chapel is a Catholic chapel. And the beautiful mosaic from the 19th century tells us the story from the Old Testament, Adam and Eve, Noah, King David, Daniel, to in the future, the only non-19th century mosaic wall is right in front of you, and this is the Ascension. Now the Ascension is not part of the tour of the church, but the Ascension will tell you what will happen soon, after the resurrection. The lady is standing next to the statue of Mary. Mary with a spear in her heart when she was at the temple, at the presentation in the temple, which is a Jewish tradition. She been told by Saint Simon, a priest from the temple, that a son will die in front of her eyes. From that moment, she stopped smiling. Well, I can understand it. She knew the future of her child, and to know that her child will die in front of her, it's not easy. The left part is the Crucifixion Place, and you can see there the Golgotha, which is covered with a glass, mainly because people want to take some souvenirs. The table there is the crucifixion spot. He was crucified with another two. One of them converted into Christianity while he was on the cross. And that belongs to the Greek Orthodox. Then Catholic, Greek Orthodox. I know that it sounds strange, but we already saw Coptic, Ethiopians, now Catholic, and Greek Orthodox. Then let's bless our crosses there. And when we reach the Crucifixion Place, you will see to the right of Jesus is John, and to the left is Mary, while he was on the cross. And I think it's around 12 o'clock. Yes, it is. He's on the cross right now. He asked John to take care of his mother, which is amazing, heroic. And let's bless our crosses. Those places. See Mary with the spear in her heart. Larry and Joel. I'm just waiting for her to go out. But until then, you can see the Golgotha. Let's bless it here as well. Here. All right. There's a hole here, and I can reach my hand and touch it. Let me use the flashlight. Here it is. On the cross you can see the 4 letters of his sin list. Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. Beautiful painting that renovated lately and tells us about the last day of the Holy Week. For example, here is in the Sanhedrin, and just came from the Garden of Gethsemane. You can see Judas' kiss, and St. Peter, one of the disciples, trying to cut the hair of the servant of the high priest. Here is the high priest. King Herod Antipas, the son of King Herod, throne of Horn. So many beautiful sceneries here. But let's leave the Golgotha. And we are heading to the tomb. Very slippery here, then we'll do it slowly. Look at the mosaic wall. We just came from the Golgotha, the head, the place of the skull, remember? Here it is. And Joseph of Arimathea and Magdalene helped Jesus by asking a permit from Pontius Pilate to get the body of Jesus. It shows you the importance of Joseph. He had the power to do that. And Pontius Pilate agreed immediately. Now it was very important for them to get the body of Jesus because as a Jew they must bury them at the same day. Joseph was part of the Jewish, maybe Sanhedrin or priest, but he was secretly worship Jesus. And Nicodemus, those are the two right people, the Nicodemus with the green and Joseph with the red. And you can see here John kissing the hand of Jesus and his mother holding the hand. This is the Pietà, and that's where they purify the body of Jesus. As every Jew, you can see even the nails here. They put a lintel on it, and then they will bury him in a cave. The stone that you see here in front of you is the stone, the anointing stone. That's where they anointed the body of Jesus. And so many people are arriving here to bless everything that they buy, or even to bring camera. to bring some presents or souvenirs from home. The smell is amazing. The smell of the incense. That stone belongs to the Armenian Catholic and Greek Orthodox. And we are arriving to chapel of the three ladies that watch the crucifixion. Hey, מה שלומך? בסדר. And this is an Armenian chapel. That's the Golgotha, remember? And I cannot go in. Cannot go in with the camera to the tomb. I will do that at the end after I finish the video, then I will place it there as well. But we're looking for a cave, and that doesn't look like a cave, because if there is a place that you could destroy when you wanted to hurt the Christians, that was the place. It's been destroyed so many times. The last time it's been destroyed by the Christians themselves. It was burned down. The roof of the tomb was burned down, the church as well, and then everything fell into it and destroyed the Adicula. Then what you see now is the 19th century Adicula. Now there are two chapels here. The first one, you can see the candle, and this is the candle from the Holy Fire of Greek Orthodox / Armenian Easter, Pascha. The inner part is the tomb itself, and it's still a miracle to see that there's no big line queue to here. Usually it goes all the way around and until the entrance. It can take you 4 hours. But I want to convince you that this used to be a cemetery area. And let's go to a non-touristic area, and the chapel that we will enter doesn't look like $1 million, mainly because there are a lot of tension between the orders themselves. Who owns that room? And that is almost true about so many places here. And if that is the Holy of the Holy, this is the most important church ever, I'm not sure that it looks like that, but still the holiness is here. Look at the graffiti, for example. That place was burned down just like the rest of the church in 1808. And before you would ask me if that is a chair, then this is not. This is an altar. And there's a lot of arguments here between the Coptic, Armenian, and Church of Syria, the Syrian Church, who own that room. That wall is from the 4th century, from the beginning of the church. And you can see the small holes here. It's held plates of marble that have been stolen by the Persian and the Muslims who conquered that place. And here you can see that there are so many holes. It means that that place is a little more dramatic than the rest of the chapel. And it is. This is a real tomb from the time of Jesus, a Jewish tomb. Then let's use the flashlight. Joe, Larry, and your wives, as you can see, I'm blessing it here as well. You can see the niches here. And if you remember, we talked about that Jesus got a new tomb, and we saw the osaries on the way. Then here you can see tomb with, I think, 5 niches. But what will happen to the 6th body? There's no more space. Then they will take out the old tomb, and they put the bones in the ossuary that we saw, and they will bury someone else before instead. Now, when you know it, and now you know it, then here, no one used the tomb that was belonged to Joseph of Arimathea, and that was used so many times. Then in that case, that might be the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea family, and because he gave Jesus his own tomb, and we are talking about his garden, then this is his garden, and according to the book of John, it was so close to the Calvary, to the Golgotha. That's why today, the church is, everything is under one roof. But you must remember that at the time of Jesus, there was no church here. The church was built 300 years later. Let's go from the other side. And this chapel belongs to the Church of Sophia. And in a way, that's it. Oh, no. I think there is a service now. Then let me see, of the Greek Orthodox. I don't hear them anymore. Yeah, it's just ended. There's so many places to visit here in the church. Then thank you very much for being with me. Please, if you reach that place, if you reach the end of the video, I'm begging you to send it to everyone and spread the rumor. I want them to see. That man saw me taking videos of almond trees, and almond is very important for me because my family name is Shaked, which is in Hebrew, and in English it's almond. Then it was a pleasure to be with you. It's 1 hour and almost 18 minutes, a long video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Then bye-bye.